the Revolutionary Guard unit responsible for foreign operations. Soleimani was killed in a US drone strike in Baghdad. And a spontaneous outbreak of joy in Iraqi cities over the passing of a man many see as the embodiment of Iran's meddling here.
I
feel happy about killing Soleimani. The reason is because of his foreign interference in Iraq. Would you accept that I'd intervene in another family's issues? Everything has boundaries.
In the early hours of Friday morning, shortly after arriving at Baghdad International Airport, a US strike targeted a convoy of Soleimani and his close ally, Abu Mahdi al-Mohandis, the deputy head of the Iraqi Popular Mobilization Forces, an Iranian-backed paramilitary group. Other members of the group were also killed. For Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Soleimani was a trusted confidant, a member of his inner circle, and he warned there will be revenge.
The cruelest people on earth assassinated the honorable commander who courageously fought for years against the evils and bandits of the world. Soleimani's martyrdom will make Iran more decisive to resist America's expansionism and to defend our Islamic values. With no doubt, Iran and other freedom-seeking countries in the region will take his revenge.
While there is talk of revenge, many Iranians don't want to see war.
It will definitely increase violence, but I fundamentally disagree with violence and conflict. I believe people moving toward peace and negotiation to reach their goals is much better.
Soleimani enjoyed some support when he led the charge to displace ISIL from Iraqi strongholds. But many Iraqis now blame Iran for instability and interference in their country, and Soleimani directly for a violent crackdown on anti-government protests which began in October. The US assassinations are the most extreme escalation in tensions between Tehran and Washington in recent years, and many in Baghdad fear it will continue to play out on Iraqi soil.
We condemn this. It's unacceptable for something like this to be happening in our country. It's between America and Iran, and in the end, we will be hurt. Our situation is already not stable.
Many Iraqis oppose Iranian and American interventions alike. Earlier this week, Mohandis himself led a crowd of Popular Mobilization Forces supporters as they attacked and besieged the US embassy in Baghdad. He walked alongside Qais al-Khazali, another senior military leader of the pro-Iran group, who has now called on his followers to take up arms against the American presence. Iraq's caretaker Prime Minister Adel Abdel Mahdi condemned the US strike as a violation of Iraq's sovereignty and the rules of engagement of the American presence here. He called the death of Mohandis an aggression against the Iraqi state. Parliament is due to hold an emergency session on Sunday, but analysts say the government, beleaguered and divided after 3 months of anti-government protests, will struggle to mount a decisive response.
Iraqi government is very weak for the time being. There will be no more than statements coming out of the caretaker Prime Minister or from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Other than that, I don't expect anything from the Iraqi government. But probably the Iraqi parliament would call for an immediate session and will discuss the current Americans-Iraqi agreement, and probably they will ask for the deportation of all the American forces from Iraq.
Whether the response to US presence in Iraq will be political or military, the assassinations have put an end to a precarious balance of power that had thus far accommodated both US and Iranian interests in Iraq. The Iraqi capital, already a battleground for tensions between the US and Iran, is bracing itself for the aftermath of the biggest escalation yet. With both US and Iranian-backed troops on the ground, the country risks being caught in the middle of a military fallout between Washington and Tehran. Simona Foltin, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.